Hey, Tiger Rock Lawrenceville, Master Mosteller here with competition online lesson number 3. Now, we're beginning our competition knit system, so some of that will be on here as well. But first things first, starting with inclusive class. 3 things that I want them to work on, and then the combination of those 3 things. So, I want them to work on high blocks, coming upward all the way above their head, not just in front this way, but all the way up. I want them to work on knife hand strikes, and I want them to work on front kicks. Then to put those things together, from high block to knife hand to front kick, high block, knife hand, front kick, that'll be the things they'll work on this week. In addition, for additional exercise, the crab walk around the house is what they need to work on, going backwards, not forward in this case. We're going to do forward later this week, but going backwards for them on the crab walk, that'll be their focus. Tiger Cubs, we're getting you ready for the tournament time period that's coming up. So first off, one of the things I want you to work on is balancing. We're getting ready for that obstacle course. Being able to walk, whether it's on a curb, whether you have something like a balance beam at home, whatever, whether mom and dad can just buy a 2x4 and let you walk on that, lay it on the floor, whatever. Practicing that balance, being able to go quickly on there and stay on, that'll be one part of it. Then, in addition, frog hops, making sure that your hands touch the floor, but doing hops across the floor all the way. Hands have to touch in between each time. Knees bend really deep, really low down. So those will be those 2 things I want you to work on as we're getting ready for obstacle course stuff. In addition to that, make sure that you're doing the one leg up, spin, and around. Make sure, parents, that they're going outward on that. Our stranger response is both hands in. So it's the 2-handed wrist release, 2-handed grab, fingers come in, step back, and bring those hands straight up above the head. And then obviously the reply is stop, don't touch me, stranger. Make sure they're having that. And then outside crescents and inside crescents. So one way and the other for Tiger Cubs. That'll be their focus this week. White belts, yellow belts. This week, starting off, I want to make sure that you are working the front kick. Make sure knee is coming up nice and high. Check our Google Classroom for the details on the front kick, as well as the outside block. I want you working the outside block and the knife hand strike. Those are the 3 techniques I want you to work on: the front kick, the outside block, and the knife hand strike. Then, for Hoam form, I want you working the end of Hoam form, which is going to be your inner forearm block, right punch, left punch. Make sure you pause, block, punch, punch, left inner forearm block, right punch, left punch. Make sure that you pause between the block and the 2 punches for that. White belts, yellow belts, that will be your focus the beginning of this week, getting ready for tournament. Green belts, blue belts. Working short, quick moves for speed. So there are 3 top speed moves I want you to work on. That's going to be your slide, side kick. Remember, nice and quick. It's not about how pretty that is. We don't have to lift it up beautifully. That we'll get to that when it gets to deception point. It's about the quick up and out. Same concept with that triple round kick. 1, 2, 3, hopping forward nice and quick. And then same concept again with a quick reverse punch in, or on top of that, making that C punch, diving in. Those will be the techniques I want you working on. In addition to that, you need to be working the final section, whether that's the blue belt section if you're a blue belt, or that's the green belt section if you're a green belt, of Hoam form. Work that. Make sure you've got power in the neck techniques. Details are there. It's got to be super sharp. Make sure you're crossing effectively. All of those details have to be there as we're getting ready for tournament. Focus needs to be on your power. Then, if you are a green belt, you'll be working on competition one step number 1. If you're a blue belt, you'll have advanced one step number 1, and that'll be in a video that's released later today as well. That'll be your focus this first part of the week, green belts and blue belts. Brown through black belts. So, first things first, advanced one step number 1. That video is getting released today as well. Make sure that you learn the new advanced one step number 1. Make sure you work the final section of the Hoam form. So if you're a brown belt, that brown belt section. If you're a red belt, that red belt section. If you're a black belt, if you are a new probationary black belt, you've got a new section to learn. If you just moved up to red, you have a new section to learn. If you have to learn a new section, you've got to make sure that you learn that getting ready. So make sure Hoam form is learned and down pat, and focus on the power in those moves. Then, we're working speed this week, and I want you to add behind the speed, we're going to do the top 3 things in speed, but then I also want you to add a safety, step back, kind of a fade away spin hook. So you'll do a quick, short side kick followed by a quick spin hook fading back. Same thing with the double or triple round kick. Same thing with the shift and reverse punch or the C punch. Either one that you want to work on those, but nice and quick, and then finish it off with that spin. That'll be our focus beginning of this week for brown through black belts. See you soon on the mats.